Welcome back, White Jackets. I'm so happy to be back with you again. I'm looking forward to your live class tomorrow. So send me any questions or send me any ideas that you have for that class, and we're going to get to work on whatever you need to do. So today we're going to help you with the daily dozens. Some of you mentioned that you don't know all 12 of those. We'll show you all 12, but probably only do about 11 of them. And also I can send you a PDF that has each of these described on it, or with a little cartoon character doing the karate stretches. So we've talked about how to warm up before you do any of those stretches. So we'll do a little bit of warm up before we do them. We'll do some animal movements, and you can do them going across the room, or you can do them on one spot. And then we'll also talk about some of the things that we reviewed last week. One is that we're going to start working on the new material because we have lots of kids who have already earned their new belts. So if you can work on getting ready to earn your new belt this week, that would be great, because next week we'll do full-time switch to our new material. Now your old material, the stuff that you may have been practicing really hard on, will still be supported on all the lessons that we have on YouTube, and you can email me for to set up a review or to set up a class time with you individually so I can see how you're doing. So thanks for joining us, and let's get started. For our warm-ups today, we're going to do 3 different animal movements 3 different ways to help us warm up our whole bodies and also learn balance. So we'll do 3 movements: 1, activation; 2, balance; and then 3, movement. So let's start with one that we all know, bear crawl. So let's start with bear crawl. 2 hands and 2 feet on the ground. You can see I've got my knees on the ground. Bears don't walk with their knees on the ground, so what we're going to do is just have our knees up. Okay, so everyone just feel what that's like. Just hold yourself parallel off the deck like this, okay? So to be able to move, we have to be able to balance. So let's pick up one leg in the back. Good. Pick up the other leg in the back. And then pick up one hand in the front. And pick up the other hand in the front. And now pick up opposite hand and foot. So left hand, right foot. And then the opposite. There we go. Because that's how we're going to be walking, okay? So if you have space, let's try walking forward, timing our hands and feet together, walking backwards. So same hand on the same side as the foot that's moving, okay? If you don't have space to do that, then you can just practice 1, 2, 1, 2. That's opposite hand foot, okay? So bear crawl. So practice those. If you have space, go across the room and back, across the room and back. So let's do 5 times each way. Try to get about 10 steps in, forward and back, so 5 forward, 5 back. All right. So hope you did well on bear crawl. So now we'll do crab. It's another one that most of us know. So again, make sure that you have stable. Scoot your way forward and back so you can feel when you're in the middle there. All right, so let's pick up one foot. There we go. Pick up the other foot. Pick up one hand. Pick up the opposite hand. All right, and now pick up opposite hand and foot. So left foot, right hand, balancing on 2. Good job. The other side, pick up the other side, and this hand, balancing on 2. Okay, so the way we're going to walk with this is hands, feet, hand and foot on the same side, hand and foot on the same side. And then forward, hand, foot, hand, foot, hand, foot. So I think you all know how to do this one. So just scoot and coordinate your hands and feet together on that. Okay, so crab walk. So use the same space that you use for a bear crawl to do upside down bear crawl or crab walk. So try that 5 times each way. Come back and we'll do one more. Okay, so our last one today is ape. So what we're going to do on this one is feet really, really wide, hands up and back, okay? If you can get down really low, great. Okay, try to sit all the way so that the backs of your legs are on your calves and hands way up high like a big ape, okay? All right, so try rocking to one side, rock to the other side, sink your weight down further. Rock to one side, rock to the other side, sink your weight down further. Good job. So now to move with this, what we'll do is put both hands outside and then both feet. So hands first, then feet. Hands first, then feet. Okay? So use the same space that you had for your bear crawl and your crab walk to do the ape across sideways. So lateral movement this way, lateral movement this way. Use as much space as you have. Otherwise, just do one way and one the other way. Good. So in these lessons, I keep talking about the daily dozen, and I've even told you about the grandmaster who created these so many years ago. But some of you don't know what all the daily dozen are. So I'll show you all 12, but I'm going to recommend you probably only do 11 of them. So we'll show you why you probably don't want to do number 10. So let's begin with number 1, and I'll give you a little mnemonic to help you try to remember each one. So number 1 is one leg out in the front, body up straight, and leaning forward, chest out towards your foot. All right, so do not worry if you cannot reach your foot with one hand or two hands. Just do your best to lean forward and stretch your leg. All right, and then of course the other side as well. So anything you do on one side, we want to try to do on the other side as well. Okay, so lean forward. If this is easy for you, pick your heel up off the ground or put your other leg on the top, make it a little better. I'll show you lots of alternative ways to do these stretches another day. But let's just quickly go through all of them. Number 2 is 2 feet in the front. So that's an easy way to remember that. 2 feet in the front, same thing. Leaning forward, back straight, up tall, and reach forward. All right. Number 3. Again, lots of ways you can do this, but 1, 2, 3 is how we remember it. Okay, 3. So lean far forward, grab your feet if you can, put your chest on the floor if you can, but don't try to arch your back and put your head down on the floor. So number 4 is making a table with your tummy. So get your belt way up high in the air and stretch your shoulders a little bit. And then number 5, a couple of different ways you can do this. One leg out in the front, one leg crossed over the top, and then reach on the outside to make sure your body's up really, really tall. You can push with the other hand to get your upper body straight, and then look around behind you. And other side. And one of the ways you can make this a little bit more interesting is bend your other leg as well like this and come on the outside of this. Again, push yourself up straight and come looking behind you on this one. Okay, next one is stretch number 6. So number 6 is trying to make a 6 with your body, looking up at the ceiling like a seal. All right, and then number 7 is making 7s with your knees and looking up, making an arch your back. All right, number 8. So number 6 and 7 are on your tummy, and number 7 and 8 are on your back. I'm sorry, number 8 and 9 are on your back. So number 8 is arms out to the side, legs straight up in the air, and just tick-tock like a clock. So working your trunk muscles, keep your feet together, don't quite let them touch the floor, and lift them back up again. All right, and then number 9 is again on your back. And be very, very careful with your neck. Keep the weight on the top of your shoulders. Bring your legs up and straight back behind you. You can see that my head's entirely off the floor, so I'm not putting any pressure on my neck. Keep your legs as straight as they can and reach as far back as you can. All right, so number 10 is bridging. Now, I do not recommend you do this one if you cannot keep your head off the floor on the way down and on the way back up. So if either one of those makes you touch your head on the floor, I don't recommend this. But bridging means just bring your feet in tight, bring your hands so that your fingers are pointed back towards your shoulders by your ears,
and bridge yourself up.
All right, lots of ways to do stretch number 11. One way you can do it by yourself on the ground is just to have your knee on the ground and slide one leg out in front of you like this, and the other leg back. If this is really easy for you, then raise up your leg and put your leg all the way down on the ground like this. Also, you can lean forward over it to make it even more exciting. So make sure you have both sides of your body. Whoops, my mat is not cooperating, so other side. Stretch number 11. One way to think of it is, it's a little bit like stretch number 1, but with a little bit more body weight helping you to stretch more. So, jam up against this wall. Oh, this forward. Okay, and then stretch number 12 is in the middle, letting your feet slide out as far as you can. Keep your weight on your hands like this. So, those are our daily dozen, and go over these so that you can remember all of them. But again, be cautious with number 10. That is definitely not for everybody. Thank you. So today, White Jackets, we'll do a quick review of your 1 steps and your form. We've been over this quite a few times, and then practice them really hard, lots of times this week, so that you can have your mom and dad email me that you're ready to take your test. So let's go through these 1 steps. Remember, the attacker, the bad guy, always steps back in low block with the right foot back and right hand up, chambered here, ready to go. Then, when the other person signals by yelling that they're ready, then punch right in front of their face. So bad guy part is always the same. Step right and punch right, but waiting for signals. So yell when you step back and wait here until your partner yells, signaling that they're ready, then switch hands. Okay, so let's quickly go through number 1, 2, and 3 on the good guy part, on the defender part, right? So number 1, remember, first thing is fold and move. So get ready and evade. Punch, round kick. Right. Second is evade, 1, 2, 3. And third is evade and side kick and hammer. Okay, I think you know all 3 of those really well. I'll go through them one more time on the opposite side. So evade, punch, round kick. Remember to yell on the last move. Then second one, evade, 1, 2, 3. Yell on that last punch. And last one, number 3, evade, side kick, hammer. Okay, so practice those 5 times each. Come back and see me, and we'll do the form. Okay, so most of you know how to turn those 3 1 steps into a kata, or a bumse, or a form. So let's do that. I'll start this way so you can see the turns. Both the turns will be towards you. So we'll do number 1, 2, turn 3. Okay? So let's do it together. I'll go very slowly. Number 1. Right as we land. Number 2. Without moving your feet, look over your shoulder. Number 3. Then step forward and do number 1. Other side of our body. Second one. Look over our shoulder. And number 3. Okay, so try to say the names while we're doing it. I'll do it one more time, saying the names. I'll start over here and say the names with you. Ready? Do it a little stronger this time. Lock, punch, round kick. Lock, punch, punch, punch. Turn, side kick, hammer fist. Change. Number 1, lock, punch, round kick. Lock, punch, punch, punch. Turn, side kick, hammer fist. Okay. So now you practice that lots and lots of times and let me know when you're ready to show me in a group chat. Thank you very much. Last time in White Jackets, we worked on inward and outward crescent kick. So if you need to review those, please go back and look. But I'll show you really quickly the difference between the two. Inside crescent comes to the inside of the body using the inside edge of the foot. And outward crescent uses the outside edge of the foot going to the outside of the body. So the one we're going to work on today is inward crescent. So let's make sure that we have someone who can help us in a few minutes with a pool noodle or some kind of pad, and we're going to go inward crescent, right? So we're trying to go a tiny bit higher each time. We don't need to go too wide, but we need to hit with the inward crescent and the inside edge of our foot on the big toe side. Inward crescent. So let me show you from the back so you can copy. Inward crescent. Inward crescent. Okay? All right, so go practice that 10 times on each foot. Stop me and then come back and show me how you're doing on that, and we'll practice some more. Okay, everyone show me just one inward crescent kick with each foot. Inward crescent. Then step and change. Inward crescent. See it cross all the way over, but then get your balance again. Okay, so this is the cool way we're going to do inward crescent kick today, which is inward crescent, turn all the way around and look. So do inward crescent, turn all the way around and look. Okay, let's try that again. I'll do it so you can copy me from the back. Inward crescent, turn all the way around and look. Inward crescent, turn all the way around and look. Okay, so let's try that one lots of times. Be careful with your feet. You got to spin a lot. Be careful with your knees. Make sure they stay bent. Inward crescent and spin back around to our starting position again. In a previous lesson, I told you a little bit about Grandmaster Hawkins and Mrs. Hawkins founding the Escondido School for us almost 50 years ago. And today, I have another important message from Grandmaster Hawkins. These are the days you really get to use discipline and integrity. No one is there to remind you to practice. You must discipline yourself, and you must have the integrity to do your best. Black belt candidates especially will need to learn to appreciate the value of forms. Practicing forms on a regular basis maintains your endurance and power, as well as developing muscle memory. When the old masters went to the mountain, they practiced forms and communed with nature. Now is a good time to imitate the old masters. This question is for third-degree black belt and architect Doug Austin. So Mr. Austin, how do you fit a whole lot more pigs on a farm? Build a skyscraper.